Best Picture Marathon theme song. Hollywood has always loved movies about Hollywood. There are a number of movies about movies that have won Oscars in various categories over the years, including the 2011 release The Artist, a black and white love letter to silent cinema written and directed by French filmmaker Michel Hazanavicius. I first became aware of him because of his film OSS 117 Cairo Nest of Spies, a very funny send-up of the Euro spy genre, particularly the old French OSS 117 films from the 1950s and 60s, as well as early James Bond movies. For The Artist, Hazanavicius reteams with his OSS 117 stars Jean Dujardin and Berenice Bejo, who also happens to be his wife. Dujardin plays George Valentine, a huge silent movie star whose career takes a nosedive as talking pictures become popular, and Bejo plays Peppy Miller, a young up-and-coming starlet in the early days of talkies. The plot of the film is actually pretty derivative, borrowing story elements from A Star is Born and Singin' in the Rain, but the visual storytelling is so clever and the two leads have such great chemistry that it overcomes a lot of the narrative issues. The cast also includes a number of American and British actors: James Cromwell, Penelope Ann Miller, Malcolm McDowell, Missy Pyle, and John Goodman. It was distributed in North America by the Weinstein Company, which Harvey and Bob started after they left Miramax. The film was successful at the box office and went on to win 5 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor. This was the first fully black and white movie to win Best Picture since The Apartment in 1960, and the first predominantly silent Best Picture winner since Wings all the way back in 1927. Now, I've always been really drawn to silent cinema. I've made a number of short films in the style of old 1920s silent pictures, and for years I was dreaming of making a silent feature. So when The Artist came along, I was both delighted and dismayed. I enjoyed seeing the style resurrected for a successful film, but of course I had to put my plans on hold. I was actually right in the middle of making a silent short at that time, and for months whenever my film played at a festival, people would invariably ask if it was inspired by The Artist. I was like, no, I was inspired by actual silent films by Georges Méliès and Charlie Chaplin and those guys. But I digress. One of the weirdest controversies around The Artist has to do with the music. The original score was composed by Ludovic Bource, but it does use some pre-existing music, including an iconic track from Bernard Herrmann's score for Hitchcock's Vertigo. The use of that music always bugged me just because I love that score, so it always was distracting when I heard it in this movie. But Kim Novak, who starred in Vertigo, published an article in Variety suggesting that a rape had happened, saying that her body of work had been violated by the use of that music in this movie, which is a dumbfounding way to complain about somebody legally licensing a piece of music and using it with permission in their film. I thought it was weird at the time, and I still think it's weird. Anyway, in retrospect, I don't think I would vote for The Artist as Best Picture of 2011. Out of the nominees, I probably would have gone for The Tree of Life, or possibly Moneyball or Hugo, Martin Scorsese's love letter to silent cinema, though I'm also a big fan of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which was not nominated for Best Picture. And the Best Foreign Film winner, the Iranian picture A Separation, is one of my all-time favorite movies. Next up, Argo. See you then.